Hello there. Welcome to our kitchen, which as you can see is pink, having previously been boring and white, like this. Now there's a future video to come on us painting this and building this sideboard, but that's for another time. Now that the kitchen is pink, we've agreed that previously our house was very, very boring, and in fact every other room in the house still is. So we started making a list of all of the other things in the house that are just dull and white, and that we'd like to change. Unfortunately, therapy is too expensive to deal with item number 1, but item number 2 was the living room, which is this room, which hopefully you can now see is green, and also looks like something from Dexter. I won't bore you with a video of how we painted this, but quick summary, this room, like the kitchen, was also boring and white, so we taped it all off, decided we're going to paint half of it green, which is what you're going to see in a second. Wow, look at that, the magic of a time lapse. And yeah, once that dried, took the tape off, and that whole thing was done. Now this room going green is phase 1 of this project, because we still feel it's boring. And so we've decided to add a shelf, which I will dramatically show there, now. Ooh, very fancy! But Harry, what type of shelf are you adding to your wall? An excellent question you've asked. In this corner of the living room, which is the other side of the room, I guess, we have this shelf, which is what I would describe as fake industrial. I don't know. It's kind of iron and wood, and it's kind of meant to look industrial. So we've decided to be highly original people and use a scaffolding board, just like this one that I picked up earlier. Now, lots of people like to buy used scaffolding board, so they have that used rustic appearance. I didn't do that because I don't know why I didn't do that. Anyway, I need to chop this down to length, which means I'm going to lose the nice rustic metal bits that come on the end of scaffolding boards, but that's okay, because I'm going to use those for a separate little project of some tiny little shelves. Some maths will get me to chop the right amount off of each end. The bracket has a little lip that you can see, and the shelf sits on the lip. Now, hopefully you can immediately see the issue. The shelf is deeper than the bracket. It's a pretty simple fix. All I have to do is cut the board to be the correct width, and I'll do that on the table saw. So now the bracket should be nice. Right, all that's left to do is sand and stain. We're going to follow the normal procedure for this. So we'll sand with 80, 120, and then 180. That's done. Time to finish it. I think I'm going to go for Danish oil with a Georgian medium oak. Maybe that was a bit much. Oops. It is now time to put it on the wall, and this is the point where I have a bit of a history of cocking up. See, in past videos when I've gone to put the brackets on the wall, I have been known to drill 10 holes before I find a stud, and I've also been known to blow the electrics in my friend's house by drilling through a wire.
all of the power went out.
And this wall in particular is fairly high risk. As you can see, there's a light switch there with wires that I know run up to the ceiling. Behind the sofa down there, there's another plug or switch. Again, the wires run up. And the other side of this wall is a bathroom, which has pipes that run through the wall and up into the bathroom upstairs as well. So effectively what I'm saying is this wall is my nightmare. Now thankfully, the good people at Walabot have seen my lack of ability in my videos, and they've sent me the Walabot DIY 2M to help me mount this shelf. Okay, so all you need to get started is to download the Walabot DIY app. Hold down the button for 2 seconds. Ah, there's the button. 1, 2, Mississippi. Blue light will turn on. Well, that is a red light. Blinking red light. That's what we've got going on here. It says I need to charge it. So I'll charge it and then we'll be back. We should now be charged. Let's give it another go with pairing. Hold down this button for 2 seconds. 1, 2. And I've got the blue light. Hit continue. Scan the QR code on the back of the Walabot to identify it. There you go. Going. Connected. Calibrate on each new wall. Place the flat side of Walabot firmly on the wall. Okay. Tap start calibration and move in a circular motion. Okay. Place on wall. Move until you identify an object. Start scan. Into pipe wire. Wire definitely makes sense there. Now, I was able to use the Walabot on the whole wall to mark out all of the studs and all of the danger zones, which gave me these 2 no-go zones on the left and right side of the wall, as well as the positions of the studs. Right, here we are. I've stuck the laser on the wall. It's level with my piece of tape. Where's my piece of tape? There's my piece of tape, right there. And I want to drill. There, and I want to drill. I made a mess. I got a plug and a screw. Looks pretty good to me. But that one, bloody hell.
Oh, that's close, Hezzy.
I always do this. To finish off the space, we added this piece of art to the wall from our wedding, and the whole space is now transformed from, I guess, what you can see here, a pretty sterile white environment to a much cozier nook that we look forward to spending the winter in. Yeah, thanks to Walabot for sponsoring the video and making me actually do this project, otherwise it would have been months down the line. And thanks to them as well for allowing me to do it without blowing my electrics or sending my plumbing everywhere.